In this episode, I'm going to tell you how much my dance studio means to me and how it feels losing it to the pandemic situation. What's up, everyone? Before we start this episode, I want to give you some informations. So this is going to be a two-part series of me talking about losing our dream business, which is the dance studio, to the pandemic situation. The first part is about us opening the studio, and the second part is closing the studios. Stay along and enjoy the episode. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is going to be a very emotional episode to me personally, and as you can see, this is not my usual YouTube setup since I'm already out of my dance studio. So this is this episode about I'm literally in the middle of a home studio makeover. As you can see, I pretty look tired. I am indeed tired. The background looks really crap, but I actually don't care too much about how I look or how the setup looks, because this topic is so deep and so meaningful to me. I actually already shot this episode, but when I was reviewing my footage, I noticed that it kind of sounded weird to me. That was because I was so focused on saying everything right.
Das ist gut, viel besser.
Viel besser heißt, ich muss nochmal machen?
Nö, muss nicht, aber nur ein.
Okay, ich mach's noch einmal.
I would repeat all the takes over and over again until it sounded like as if I would read a instruction for a vacuum cleaner. And I couldn't express what I genuinely felt at that moment or how I feel about the topic I was talking about. And this is me talking about losing my dream business, and I wanted to do it right. To fully understand the meaning of this dance studio, you need to watch the previous episode where I talk about my dance crew, since that is the origin from my two businesses, the agency and the dance studio. So if you haven't seen that, just go ahead and watch it before you come back here and watch this episode. To summarize everything up, in 2010 we founded our dance crew, Team Recycled. In 2011 we started to compete at different contests, and since then won a lot of national titles. In 2013 we competed at a TV show, Got to Dance, and after that we received our first huge booking to Valencia. At this point, shout out to 8 Counts. End of 2014, Devin and I founded our first business, the TR Agency, and ever since we would do a lot of crazy bookings, travel the world, and doing different shows. And then 2017, we founded our second business, the TR Studios. But the funny thing about that is we had the company, but we don't have a room yet. So it took us almost 1.5 years to find a room that matches to our needs. So ever since we founded Team Recycle, the dance crew, our biggest dream was to have an own studio. So you would have an own place to call your own, where you can come in whenever you want, and where you can place all the trophies and all the pictures that you have from all the experience you collected so far. And trust me, that was a pretty tough struggle to find a right place where we can open our dance studio. So we would look and research for a lot of rooms. So one room was in the subway, but next to it was a bakery and a shoe store. I mean a shoe store, not a sneaker store, a shoe store for elder people. And the landlord was then very concerned about the noise that we would do. And then we had a room that had no windows. And then there was another room which was in the basement, which was really scary to go down there. And then we had a room where we don't had any parking possibilities, so no parking lot. So it was a total mess to find that right place. And then finally in 2018 January, we finally found our place in a building which is meant for events. So it's a place where you can rent rooms and halls where you could do big parties or conventions, all kind of events you can imagine. So that company gave us one room to open our dance studio there. And in 2018, in January, we finally signed the contract. And the best thing about it was that we don't told our dance crew until that moment. So what we did, we pretend to have a meeting in our future office, which was in the 5th floor. And so we would prepare the chairs and we would have a little meeting. And we indeed had a meeting, so we had a lot to discuss. So after that, we all went downstairs and we prepared the backlight, which we already had to that at that moment. And then we told them,
wir haben euch ja noch gar nicht erzählt, wo wir hier eigentlich sind. Und zwar haben wir heute um ca. 15 Uhr den Mietvertrag unterschrieben. Und wir sind gerade hier.
And that moment was pretty perfect. Check this out. It was my dream ever since I am dancing. So I'm dancing since 1998. I had my first dance crew, Flip Squad, which was a all Filipino crew. So that means I'm in the dance game for 20 years, for 2 centuries now. And starting from day one, I always wanted to have an own place, which I can call my own. And finally it happened.
Echt eine geile Sache. Danke, Bro. Herzlichen Glückwunsch. Danke, Chris. Lit.
Das ist einfach toll, weil es unser eigenes Baby ist und ich freue mich einfach, dass wir hier so viele Kinder und Teenies und Erwachsene glücklich machen können und das alles im Namen von Team Recycled. Das ist echt ein Traum, wirklich.
Die ganze Arbeit seit 8 Jahren, beziehungsweise was wir alles da reingesteckt haben, das, was wir uns immer erträumt haben, ist jetzt gerade passiert, gerade jetzt so und das ist einfach unglaublich. Ich kann es selber nicht mal fassen.
Yeah, I'm happy that we have our own studio is a good thing.
Es war echt ein verdammt langer Weg hierhin. Und es ist endlich der Moment gekommen, wo man das auch mit den Leuten teilen kann, weil das wusste ja keiner. Und jetzt gibt es Sekt. Wir sind Team Recycle!
That was a pretty nice celebration for our team and also a huge accomplishment. After winning a lot of titles and traveling the world, having great bookings, now we could say we have our own dance studio. So when we finally had the dance studio, it was so exciting building this room up or out and getting it ready for our grand opening. And it was so exciting to see everything step by step, whether it's painting the reception bar or getting the floor right, receiving the mirrors, painting the logos. But to me personally, the most exciting thing, I don't know why, is to have that TR Studio logo, the light sign and the ghetto blaster or the radio wall. That is to me the most epic thing. In April 2018, we finally opened the door for all other people, and that was one of the best days of my life. Of course, the birth of my son and the day when I met my girl. And the most cutest thing is to receive cakes with your logo on it. And also the logo was designed by Daisy, so big shout out to Daisy. She's also an OG, Team Recycled OG. She's there ever since, from day one. And also Mark, he did the other logo, and both of them, they did a lot for the dance crew, and they are also responsible for the corporate identity. So it's actually like building a new brand. When everything was done and ready, that was one of the best moments in my life, to see the studio and all the people inside. And also at the opening, that was also huge to me. One of my best friends, Daniel, Korean Daniel, we call him Koreaki Daniel. He also has a business which is a Korean street food restaurant, and he was there at my opening, and I really, really loved that he had his kind of a food truck in our building. It wasn't a truck, but it was a stand, and he would sell Korean street food, and I really enjoyed the fact that he was also part of the grand opening. Now look, dancing has always been very good to me and my crew, especially for me. In my case, dancing is like my best friend, and it always helped me in a very hard situation in my life. I had a lot of struggles, a lot of changes that I had to go through, and dancing was always that kind of a part that helps me to go through that situation. And I'm not ready yet to talk about those stuff, but as far as I can say, there is a very special relationship between me and dance. So I'm dancing since I can think. Dancing enabled me a whole new world. It opened so many doors for me, and I never could imagine or dream of living out of dancing. And that is pretty insane. And by having a dance crew, by preparing for all these competitions, that really helped me to grow as a person and to evolve all my skills, whether it's as a leader or as a human being. In all kind of situation, it helped me to be a better person. We as a dance crew wanted to create a place where we can share all our passion, everything which we genuinely love to do. We wanted to pass to the next generation, and also have an own place where we can rehearse and just have a good time. So it's time to create new dance crews which we can go to dance contests to. And that was always our vision, to have a full bus packed with all our teams, go to a championship and just rock the room and tear the roof off. That actually happened 2 years in a row. So now we have 4 really beautiful dance crews, and this is another episode. We don't only created a dance studio, this is more a community, which we are very proud of. So for us as Team Recycled, which is also our signature, is our lifestyle as a dance crew. And I think there is kind of a success formula to it, and because we treat our dance crew like a family.
Hiermit möchte ich die Throne Crew herzlich willkommen heißen in den TR Studios, und das ist euer Logo.
That is why we are so strong on stage, because the bond is very strong, and also the human beings. We have all kind of types, all kind of cultures within our crew, which makes us to the crew we are today. And now we have 4 more crews, and the vision for us is to bring them one day on a world championships, so they would compete on a world-class level against other countries. Maybe one day they could do dance professionally, so they could make a living out of it. So that is the vision. And one day we want to go on tour or have a lot of shows out there, and all the dancers on stage would be these kids that we kind of raise, you know what I mean? So that is the vision for the dance studio. So the dance studio is way more than just a studio where we would rehearse. For our kids and all our youth, this was their second home. So after school, they would come to our studio, hang out, doing their homework, spend a lot of time and meet new people, and just live what they are passionate about, which is dancing, and also rehearsing and training for the next big event. I really love the atmosphere in the studios, and it was a really beautiful feeling to have all these families and all the parents in the dance studio, and I always enjoyed it, the company of everyone. And everything that happened in the dance studio was magic. And we would spend a lot of time in the dance studio. It was a place of growing, learning, and improving. That was part 1 of our 2-part series, Losing Our Dream Business to the Pandemic Situation. And the next episode is going to get very serious, because now the pandemic situation kicks in. If you want to know how this story continues, click to the next episode. Subscribe to my channel, hit the bell button, and give me a thumbs up and support what we're doing. Thank you so much.